My reaction after Spider-Man No Way Home trailer 2.
Oh, okay. Whoa. That was amazing. Oh, can't wait for this movie. See you at the theaters.
The day has finally arrived. Today's the day. Today I will be seeing No Way Home at the theaters in like 3 hours. I'm really excited for this movie. Ever since trailer 1 came out, I was like, I need to see this movie. I mean, considering they have like all the villains and maybe Toby and Andrew will be in it. And uh, when Dad said he got tickets for us, I was really excited. And the wait has been unbearable for Monday to Sunday today. That's all. This movie was all I was thinking about, and now I get to experience it and tell you guys what I will think about the movie. And hopefully it doesn't disappoint. Probably won't. Before I see the movie, I will rank the Spider-Man films. Let's go. Hi, we are gonna see No Way Home. This is my sister Megan, and we're at Showcase Cinemas. So excited for this movie. You excited too, Meg?
Guess so.
Yeah. Gonna do a review on this after, and hope it's good. See you after that. The aftermath of the movie. I just saw No Way Home, and there's a lot to talk about. The movie review. Caution, spoiler alert. Wow, that movie was insane. Oh my gosh, it had everything I wanted in this movie. It had great moments, it had great drama, good comedy, and I don't know where to begin. I guess I should start with the beginning when Mysterio reveals Spider-Man's identity. The aftermath I thought was dealt very well, and Matt Murdock is back as Daredevil, and I thought the scene with him was really good, and then he goes to Doctor Strange's like Sanctum Sanctorum, and they do the spell, and I'm glad that Doctor Strange wasn't like completely willing to go with Peter Parker's plan, and so the spell happens, and everything goes to crud, like that, and see when Peter wants to talk to that woman about the MIT stuff, it made sense, so we can have that Doc Ock scene. And then when Doc Ock comes in the scene and he's like, "Hello, Peter," I was like, yes, he's back. And so they have a fight. They fight, and this is spoiler alerts in this video. So they fight, and the Iron Spider suit controls the arms. And I was like, are they really gonna do that? But then I bought into it because it made sense for the story. And then a pumpkin bomb drops, and I'm like, oh crud. William Dafoe's Green Goblin is in this movie too. And they cut away to that scene. I was like, really? They're doing the Godzilla 2014 thing where they cut away from an awesome scene. But in this movie it works because it builds up Green Goblin. And when they capture all the villains, when they talk to the villains, they go into detail about what they've been through and what time of their movies were dropped in this movie. And I thought that was done really well. and I like that Green Goblin like pretends to be like like an innocent man, and he tricks Aunt May, and so we can go into the Sanctum Sanctorum and trick Peter. And I thought the Green Goblin in this movie was great. I liked that he was deceiving, and he was the one that mentally and physically broke Peter Parker in this movie. But before that scene happens, Peter fights Electro, and I'm like, oh yes, they're finally doing Electro justice. And so when Electro goes to fight Spider-Man, Flint Marko Sandman comes to save him, and I'm like, yes, Sandman's a good guy in this for now. And so when Peter and Flint Marko get captured, Doctor Strange is like, we gotta send these guys back to their universe, and Peter Parker's like, no, we can't do that because they'll die. And so Peter and Doctor Strange get in a fight. I like that Peter uses skills to defeat Doctor Strange's magic, and I thought that was a great evolving for the character, because math sometimes beats the new magic. And so when Peter beats Doctor Strange in the mirror dimension, he gets the villains into his new apartment that they had to move into. Oh, like my Doc Ock arms. Yes, the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. And so Peter like wants to cure these villains, and so he first cures Doc Ock, and I like the scene where he fixes the inhibitor chip, and I thought, wow, they are really staying true to the sacrifice that Doc Ock did in Spider-Man 2. And I really thought that that was really cool what they did to the Doc Ock character, because he wasn't the villain in this movie. He was good the majority of it. I like the halfway point. And Doc Ock's my favorite villain in Spider-Man, and I like that they stayed true to sacrifice in the second one. However, I can't say the same for the other villains, because Electro wants all the power in this universe than his Amazing Spider-Man universe, because here he is free to do whatever he wants. Green Goblin, he just wants chaos, I guess, in this world. And I didn't know what the deal was with Sandman and Lizard. I guess they went along with the plan. And so when Peter uses his spider sense to sense something's wrong, I like that he figured out that it was Green Goblin who was going to pull the strings. And then when Green Goblin reveals his real plan, because he tricked Peter Parker into thinking he wants in on this mission. And I really like that the Green Goblin was the main villain in this movie. And so when Green Goblin like betrays the team, he beats Peter to a pulp, like bang, bang, bang. And it reminded me of the scene from the first one where Green Goblin beats up Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and made like the horror genre in the superhero movies. And then all the villains get loose and wreak havoc on New York. And the ending of the fight made me cry, because I didn't think they had the guts to kill off Aunt May, and it was Green Goblin that killed Aunt May. And I'm like, they really did it. Peter, I don't think this Peter has like suffered a lot of consequences, but in this one, He suffers brutally, like terribly. Like Aunt May says, with great power comes great responsibility, and then she dies. That's what I wanted in this MCU Spider-Man. And before we get further, I really like that there's like little to none Tony Stark references in this movie, because the problem with the first two MCU Spider-Man movies is that they were too reliant on the Tony Stark like his character and his influence on Peter. And I really like that they didn't like mention Tony, because I think Spider-Man was too reliant on Tony with all his tech and stuff. And so when Aunt May dies, I'm like, what are they gonna go? How is he gonna win this? He's already got like 5 villains to face. But here's one problem I have with this movie. Ned somehow can use the Doctor Strange power and make a portal. In the Doctor Strange movie, you had to go through training to get the power, and I just thought, really, this is what they're gonna have Ned do? But then when Ned opens his first portal, Andrew Garfield shows up, and I'm like, they really are doing this. And then the second one he does, Tobey Maguire's back. I would never thought in a million years that I would see those two Spider-Men again. Never. This movie is historic for doing this. And when Mary, MJ, and Ned, Toby, and Andrew go to a grieving Peter, they talk about Uncle Ben and their past, Gwen's death, Ben's death, and that's what I wanted in this series. That's what I wanted, an Uncle Ben reference. Yeah, that was a good scene. But it gets even better from there, because after that scene, they team up and then they fight like the 4 or 5 villains in this movie. And I really like that no villains die in this movie. No villains die in this movie. And it's like, they had to cure these villains. These villains don't necessarily always have to die in these movies. And I like that they are human too. They just went through a lot of stuff. And I like that Sandman was cured. He was back to normal. Electro's cured. He and Andrew had a talk, which was touching. And when Doc Ock defeated Electro, I'm like, yeah! Favorite villain defeating my not so favorite villain. And I like the exchange with Toby and Doc Ock. Like, Doc Ock's like, Peter, you're all grown up. And that got me teary-eyed, because I really like their dynamic in Spider-Man 2. And Doctor Strange comes back and he like helps out too in this fight. But when Green Goblin shows up, he's like, "Can the Spider-Man come out to play?" And then he comes and destroys all of them. One tentacle was destroyed like this. Gone. Bye-bye, tentacle. Due to a pumpkin bomb. And I'm like, oh no, no one is gonna defeat this guy. Not even Doc Ock. And so, when Peter beats Goblin to a pulp, and he grabs the glider, and he's about to kill Green Goblin, Toby stops him. Oh, before that, Andrew Garfield saves MJ from falling, and that is like a redemption to Gwen Stacy's death. I just wanted to mention that. And so when the Green Goblin stabs Toby, I'm like, they're not killing Toby off. He's my favorite Spider-Man. They can't do that. And I like that they didn't do that because they can use him for other movies, money. So, and then when the Green Goblin gets cured, he gets stabbed by something. I didn't really know about that one. But, and then all three Spider-Man hug, and I'm like, yes. And when Doctor Strange and Peter both agree to like have everyone forget about Spider-Man, I'm like, this is consequences I really wanted in this movie. And the spell goes through, the multiverse characters return to their homes. I don't know if they're dead or not. Hopefully they're not, because they can be used for other movies. And when Peter says bye to MJ, that got me teary-eyed too, because this could be the last time they can see each other normally. Well, there might be 3 more movies after this, but I'm not sure about that. So I like that Peter deals with the consequence, and he's like the old Spider-Man. He's alone. He is grieving about his death of his aunt. Happy doesn't even know he's Spider-Man. And then Ned doesn't even. Oh, by the way, Flash never appears anymore after the first act. I didn't really like Flash in this franchise. Just a filler character. And oh, by the way, isn't it a coincidence that Kingpin and Daredevil are appearing now? Just saying. Daredevil season 4, anyone? No? Yes? No? Yes? I don't know. And when Peter goes to an apartment like in Spider-Man 2, that's when it was like, this is gonna be so real. And then he has a new suit now, and it looks so good, comic accurate. And when he does the final swing off to his new adventure, post-credit scenes. I'm a big Venom fan. I like Venom. I really didn't like that they teleported Tom Hardy back to his world, but oh well. But then there's a drop of the symbiote, which could be that was left from Venom. And there could be another Eddie Brock variant. And maybe Topher Grace, or is that him? Topher Grace can come back and reprise his role. I'm not sure if anyone wants that. But then the second post-credit scene is a Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness trailer. I'm really, really curious about that. At the end there, is that the What If Doctor Strange? Could be. That means we could get the Watcher. And that's basically the review for the whole movie. I might have missed some parts. I'm trying to recall from my memory. But if I were to give a rating for this movie, I would give it 11 out of 10. This is a Zilla-ized movie. Great action, great drama. Really like the stakes in this. The villains were so great. Glad that they were back, especially Doc Ock. Yes, my tentacle is talking to me. All those voices, the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. And that's basically my review. You guys can let me know if I missed anything. But yeah. Rent? Where's my money?